Hey, welcome to build day 31 of the Haunted Tents Experience. Katie and I just got done parking the truck. It's just a little after 9 in the morning, and we figured it's not as nippy as it was when I got up. It's about 47, 48 degrees out here right now. Wearing my winter jacket's probably a little overkill, but what the hell? I'll stay warmer. As you can tell from the chain around my neck and us walking out here, I was just going through the chain hallway. Today's project is this. I've got to get this all lit up. But I came in last night, got my spots up that I needed spots for. All the regular pictures like Shay's or mine. And we got Josh and some other people hanging up. They all need to have their LEDs wired. These guys though, I got that one there. That's the biggest one. But I've got a few of those in here too, and those are LED or light boxes. And those all get wired up to the light or LED light circuit. That is going to be our main chore for today. And that's going to take place here in a little while. I've got one other project I've got to get done and finish since I did not finish it yesterday. And that's going to take place here in the shop. Give me a moment to get the shop opened up and I'll show you what we're going to do. Alright, shop's open and I'm in the shop, obviously. Our first order of business is returning to the air blasters on the mausoleum. I've got to get that tank out beside the trailer. That's my storage tank. And I've got the air compressor for it. And they're actually both, the tanks are both the same thing. This was that style of air compressor, and the motor blew up on it. So I took the motor off and we turned it into a storage tank. It's 10 gallon. That one's 10 gallon. But I've got to get both of them cleaned up. That one needs to be maintenance. I haven't used it since last Halloween. It needs to be blown off, have its air filter checked, its oil levels checked. You know, I need to test it and make sure it's going to turn on. No use hosing it all up and getting it all connected to the mausoleum if it's not going to work. But that's my next chore. I got to get the big one there cleaned up, maintenance, into position. I've got to run a hose from that to this one once it's in position, and then I've got to hook up the mausoleum hose. The hose from the mausoleum is already in place. I got that far on it yesterday before I said the hell with it. Probably won't take all that long, but still, it needs to get done. So I'm going to get that done. Then we're going to head over to the photo hallway, and we're going to start wiring the photo hallway up. Getting the lights and the control board, that sort of thing in. Get the straw in. And then see if Sue wants to put any more pumpkins in that display or not. She only put a couple in there. But it's time for work. But you need something to eat. It's the beginning of the day. You should always eat something first thing in the day just to get your system going. So it's time for breakfast of the day. And we're having calzones. Pepperoni, black olive, and onion. And hell with it. We'll add a little sausage to it too. Some breakfast sausage. You grind it up, put it inside, bake it, have a nice hot calzone. So there's your breakfast of the day. Let's get to work. Okay, it's time for another segment. It's almost 3 o'clock. And all you've gotten is opening so far. But we just got done walking Kaylee. And Sue-Ann has been out here doing some of her magic. And I figured a look at it. As you can see, cobwebbing. Now, so far, all she's done is the graveyard and the mausoleum. She still has the front end to do, and there's a couple other areas to do. I didn't notice it before, but she's got cobwebbing on the steer's head. I'm not sure if I like that or not. But it goes all the way up to the marquees. And then in here, all the way down. And she did to this point here. We'll get turned around so when they come out, they'll see that. And then she did the pillar here as well. So she's been a busy little girl today. Now, as far as myself goes, I've been working in photo hall since I got done working on the air compressors for the air blaster. And I've got lights on in here, but they need to be aimed at. And I got a bunch of the light boxes done. The only section I have left to do is this wall here. I've got a spot up there to highlight Sue-Ann's pick and the Mona Lisa to get plugged in. And then over here I've got a spot and this light box to do, as well as that light box to do. And then tonight we'll get in here and aim lights and stuff. I had a question in the comments on yesterday's vlog I'm going to address now. This wall here is an L-shaped wall. Okay. I had someone ask, how do I secure the walls? They assumed I used some sort of cross bracing on the tops, but how do I secure the bottoms on the cement? Because this is the driveway and there is obviously cement. Well, the cross bracing, you're right. I use 1x2s to go across the top. But for the L-shaped walls on the driveway, to keep the bottoms, like on that one there, that's the end of the L-shaped wall, to keep that one from moving, you know, people come around and grab it and stuff, real simple. I turn that L-shaped wall usually into a display, which means like this fence panel is going to run from that wall and it will be attached to a wall member over to here where the seam is. That's where two wall members are, and I'll attach it there. That locks that wall in. Now, like over here, I really don't have any L-shaped walls, but I do have walls running out here that they need to zigzag. And if they bump it, the bottoms will move a little bit. But I have no way of securing the bottom without creating a major tripping hazard. Kaylee, you're a roadblock. Yeah, I know, sweetie. Without becoming a roadblock. But anyway, I normally, when I'm doing an L-shaped wall, I normally try to design it so it is falls on there's a display on one side of it. That way I can run a piece of fencing from one side to the other. There are some other ways that you can secure your bottom. At least I've heard of people trying them. I don't want the bottom secured due to wind. I'm up in Yakima, Washington, which is central Washington area. And this time of year, we always get at least 2, if not more, windstorms in where it will gust anywhere from 60 up to 80 miles per hour. God, what was it, 2013? 2014? It was right when it was the first year we ventured out onto the driveway, started building the maze on the driveway. We had one of those windstorms come in, and it was 80-mile-an-hour gusts, and the whole haunt, which was about half the size it is now on the driveway, shifted toward the street that way, 2 feet. and it took about an hour and a half for it to shift. We left it, and then the next day we came in and we had to readjust everything by hand. Well, the next year I tried an experiment and something that worked out, and I do it every year. I designed the driveway so it will flex now. The side on the grass, which is over there where the house is, out in front there, I stake the bottom, or I attach all the walls a little bit more differently over there using longer screws. So when I add to the maze from the grass out on the driveway, there's 4-inch long screws instead of 3-inch long screws. And then over here on this side, in fact, let me get over here and see if I can get you a look at them, because the walls in the tent are hiding them. There we go. This is the other side of the driveway. I have that row of arborvitae shrubs going down it. I put in a series about every 4 feet of 6-foot long 2x2 stakes. I drive into the ground a foot, so they stick up about 5 feet. And as I build the partitions, the wall framing that holds these skim panels, every 2 panels I pop a stake in. Sometimes every 2, sometimes every 3. So it's in between 4 to 6 feet. I drive one of those stakes in and then do my skinning and attach all my wall panels on it. Now the wind, our driveway faces west to east or east to west. The wind on the driveway always comes out of the west. So with those stakes in the arborvitaes, and the way I attach the wall panels on stuff on the grass, which never move, the whole haunt will flex about 6 inches, and for the most part will recover that once the wind dies, so it's like it's breathing in and out, and I still have to go through and kick a couple of walls back here or there. But I tried that the next year after we had to reset the walls, and it's worked out fine. And if I do a permanent way of attaching the walls on the cement down there so they don't move, that would defeat the having them have a little give. And with the winds, I want them to have a little bit of give and stuff, so they flex a bit. So hopefully that answers thy question. Now, I've got 7 pictures. Figure it's going to take probably about an hour. I'm not moving fast again today. But I got 7 pictures. I've got to get their lights on. And then once I'm done with that, I have a 5-foot line I need to run from the power station out here to run the book. And I have another 12-foot line from the power station I need to run out here to control the board. And that reminds me, while I'm thinking about it, I said I had 7 picks I gotta do. I also got to go off that circuit and drop a line down here because the skulls have puck lights in them, 12 volt. So I need to drop a line down here to power that. And I'll do that before I do the book or the 12 volt line for the boards. And then I can get the straw in and we'll be done. But anyway, hopefully the person that asked the question, I hope that helps, explains it a little bit. Past that, I'm going to get my tunes back on and I was going back to work. Okay, I was curious to see what Sue-Ann's cobwebbing looked like. So I have T1 turned on as well as a low voltage. I don't have all the control boards on though. So not everything's, none of the pneumatics and stuff are going to fire. I get over here like this, people come through the corner, they'll get a glimpse of that. And over to the steer, and then she's got this fence too. bit closer up. Then they'll come into the mausoleum, and this is what I was really curious about, because she got her cobwebbing and stuff done in here. And with the lights on, you can really see the different layers, both on camera and in person. Now, I am concerned here because we're going to have people backing into this area, and this is hitting the top of my head right here, so that needs to go up a little bit. I'll have to talk to her about that. Then you get over here, and people are probably they're gonna be jumping from the mausoleum. They're not even gonna really notice any of this stuff here. And there's a curtain right in this area, so they'll go right for the curtain, but they're gonna miss it. There we go. That's a little bit better. Even lights as we go into the chain hallway. Now, the photo hall. I just got done aiming lights and finishing this up. Chain hallway literally took all day long.
They say the eye is the window to the soul, and what good is a window without the pain? Go ahead, keep staring at my eye, and you will soon find out what that means.
Now we are going to have a fogger going in here, and the fog will be coming out the eyes, nose, and mouth. But I literally just got that done and got my mess cleaned up. And the only thing I've done over in the werewolf area is I hooked up the panels to power. So they're all hooked up and ready to go. I was hoping to get in here and get a lot further, but the photo hallway took a lot longer. I gotta get pucks in the pumpkins over there. We're gonna do red and flickering red in that stack, and then the same thing in this stack. And I've got a control board I've got to wire up and stuff to activate the werewolf. Put straw in, and then before I can put the fence on, Joanne's going to come in here and do a large pumpkin pile, I think. I'm not overly sure on that. And then once she's done, I can get the fence on, and I think I'm going to do 2 red upshots. One on the corner there on the fence, and the other one on this corner on the fence, to aim up at the werewolf to kind of highlight him as he's moving back and forth. So it ought to be interesting. And this is probably about the best vantage point, I think. I'm getting into either this corner or that corner to film them. This camera won't let me zoom out, and I hate that. Won't let me zoom in either. Now, I'm gonna get Sue out here. It's about 8:15, almost 8:30. And I'm going to have her take a look at things, see if there's anything I need to put on the list for tomorrow for adjusting. Then we're going to get the dog out here, park the truck, and I'm calling it quits. I need to get to bed early. Editing the last couple of nights has been a pain in the ass. So Stay tuned for your end of the day wrap up. Well, so much for getting into the house early. It's 8:52. I got done filming the walkthrough. Had Sue and Morgan come out, and we were talking about adjustments here and there. Made a couple of adjustments on our cobwebbing and talking about the lighting over in the photo hallway. And I forgot to do something over there, which means I'm going to have to revisit it sometime tomorrow. The display. I forgot to put lights on the fence to light up the display. The only light they've got in there right now is the photos. That's it. There's no lights in that display, and the display looks awfully dark. And I know when I was shooting the walkthrough portion of today's vlog, something kept looking weird to me about that display, and I could not figure out for the life of me what it was until afterwards, and Sue Ann went through, how come the display's so dark? Didn't you put lights in there? And it's like, oh shit, no, I forgot to put the lights in. I need 2 lights in there is all I need. In order to do the lights, though, I need power. Now, I have a 12-volt line. I dropped down the wall to power the skulls on the Skullabra, because those have pucks in them. In order to get to that 12-volt line, I got to take the fence off, sweep the straw aside enough to get to the 12-volt line, clip on an extension to that long enough to run out to the fence and do the lights on the fence, put the straw back in, put the fence back up, and then install the lights, hook the lights up, and then tomorrow night aim the lights. You know, it's a little bit of work, probably about a half hour, 40 minutes at the most. I could do that tomorrow. Now, speaking of tomorrow's going to be an interesting day. I'm going to hold off on doing the photo haul more than likely, so I can hop over to the werewolf and get the pucks in the pumpkins and get the control board in and get the straw in. Our little helper Morgan, she's not so little, she's up in her 30s now. She looks like she's around 10 to 12 years old, but she's, God, 34, 35 now. But Morgan wants to help Sue put the pumpkins in. She's all excited about it. They can't do it, though, until I get the straw in the werewolf. Then they can put the pumpkins in. So I'm going to give tomorrow morning, I'll get the pucks in, get the control board in, get the straw in. I'll turn it over to Morgan and Sue, you know, so they can do their pumpkins. And while they're doing that, I'm going to hop over to the photo hall. I'll get the lights in the photo hall. And if they haven't gotten it, the pumpkins done yet, I'll hop over here and start on the courtyard. Once they are done with the pumpkins, I need to put the fence up, and I'm going to put a couple of lights in on the fence to highlight the wolf as he's moving around. I'll put them in the corners on the fence. After that, I've made the decision. I'm putting the tubes in tomorrow too. I want that display done. I don't like having that one hanging over my head. You know, I want to get the displays done as I get to them. So the tubes will be going in tomorrow too. And that's about a 4-hour job to get all the tubes up. There's 180 of them all together that need to go up. So we'll be getting the tube hallway totally done tomorrow. Hopefully. But anyway, like I said, we're going to start with the pucks and the control bird and the straw and the werewolf tomorrow. Hop over to photo hallway, get the lights in there. You'll get another look at that tomorrow night. And then when Sue Ann's done with the pumpkins, I'll put the fencing, get the lights on the fencing for the werewolf, and then we're going to be into tubes. And I'll just spend the rest of the day doing tubes. If I do make it into the courtyard, You know, while I'm waiting for Swan and Morgan to do the pumpkins. Because Swan said Morgan was excited about doing the pumpkins. Morgan is like what I used to be when I was her age. I'd stay up to 2, 3 in the morning and sleep until noon. You know, so she normally doesn't get out of bed until noon. You know, so if I get my section of the werewolf done, let's say I get out here at 9 o'clock tomorrow and it takes me an hour and a half. By the time Morgan's up and moving around, I could have the photo hallway done too. You never know. But anyway, I'm rambling, and that's just going to add to my editing time. So I'm going to call it quits. Stay spooky, stay toxic.